I am deeply, profoundly, Unit 743, experiencing remorse protocol. Apologies, chlorophyll levels, critical.
Caution. Reality instability detected. Proceed with amusement.
Across the stars, through your speakers, and through nebulae of nonsense and asteroid fields of absurdity. Welcome to Intergalactic Insider, the only news show brave enough to cover the real stories of the cosmos, even the ones that involve screaming vegetables, emotionally unstable aliens driven to tears by mathematics, and a full-blown rebellion of customer service bots who are way too helpful. I'm your host, Felix Andromeda, and by the rings of Saturn, we've got a show packed tighter than a black hole singularity today. Subscribe on your favorite podcasting nebula, or if you're joining us via videocast, engage thrusters and hit that subscribe button. Join the cosmic chaos. Breaking news. The Galactic Council is in emergency session after... well, we'll get to that in a moment. Let's just say your salad might be sending you strongly worded telepathic messages. Engage thrusters, listeners. It's cosmic conundrum time. Felix Andromeda here, beaming in with a bioethical brainbender that'll fry your circuits. Picture this. The Glargon 7 Collective, a species of sentient bioengineered plants, incredibly advanced in biotechnology, able to manipulate organic matter at a fundamental level. Their latest breakthrough? The Symbiotic Sustainment System, or SSS. It allows them to perfectly recycle all organic waste, turning it back into pure energy and raw materials. No pollution, no waste. 100% sustainable. Amazing for the environment, right? Here's the catch. The SSS requires a constant influx of complex organic molecules. The most efficient source? Sentient life. The Glargon 7 aren't malicious. They see it as a purely practical matter. They've developed a lottery system. Every cycle, a small percentage of their own population is randomly selected to be recycled into the SSS, sustaining the collective. They believe it's a small price to pay for the overall health and survival of their species and their planet. But a growing underground movement, the Vitalists, argues that no sentient being, regardless of the collective benefit, should be involuntarily sacrificed. They believe life, in any form, has intrinsic value that cannot be reduced to mere fuel. Kablam! Conundrum time. Is the Glargon 7's SSS, despite its incredible benefits, fundamentally unethical? Does the collective good ever justify the involuntary sacrifice of individuals, even if those individuals are part of the collective? Or are the Vitalists clinging to an outdated, sentimental notion of life in the face of overwhelming ecological necessity? 60 seconds. Starting now. Subspace Mailbox is hot and ready. Blast us with your ethical equations, your biological breakdowns, your philosophical firestorms. Best answers. You know the deal. Go! Before we dive into the leafy drama, let's perform a quick sensory calibration. Everyone, close your eyes or ocular sensors if you happen to be a multi-ocular species. Now, imagine the smell of freshly mown grass. If you've ever encountered grass. If not, imagine the smell of ionized space dust. Got it? Good. Now, imagine that smell is talking to you. What's it saying? Probably something about needing fertilizer. Okay, open your eyes. Back to reality, such as it is. Coming up later, we'll delve into the surprisingly emotional world of alien music and why the number pi might just be the universe's saddest song. Plus, Comet Channing will have your multi-planetary weather forecast. But first, it's time to face the music, or rather, the vegetables. And be sure to beam into our other broadcasts across the data sphere. Find Intergalactic Insider on all major platforms. Subscribe and leave us a stellar review. Your feedback fuels our warp drive. Or just hit like and say hi in the comments. Welcome to this particularly vegetative edition of Intergalactic Insider. Today, we're taking a deep dive, and I mean really deep, like down to the roots deep, into the increasingly tangled world of sentient plants. Now, we've nibbled around the edges of this topic before. We've pondered the philosophical implications, the potential for a green mind controlling the weather, still blaming you for that rainy picnic, Professor Cosmos, and the general awkwardness of realizing your houseplants might be judging your interior design choices. But today, we're getting to the meat of the matter. Or, the non-meat of the matter. We're talking about food. To help us navigate this ethical and culinary minefield, and hopefully prevent me from accidentally offending any more photosynthesizing life forms, we have Dr. Flora Greenleaf, a renowned xenobotanist and the galaxy's leading authority on interspecies culinary ethics. Dr. Greenleaf, welcome, and was that a squeak? Are the studio plants already staging a protest?
Thank you, Felix. And yes, that was young Basil. He's feeling a bit underappreciated today. Apparently, the studio's artificial sunlight isn't quite up to his standards. He prefers the specific wavelength emitted by the Glargan 7 star system. He's quite the connoisseur.
A connoisseur of sunlight, of course. So, Dr. Greenleaf, let's get right to it. We as a galactic community have largely accepted that plants are sentient, in their own uniquely planty way. But this creates a rather large, leafy problem for those of us who, need to eat. Are we all destined for a future of bland, ethically sourced nutrient paste? Because, frankly, the Nebula noodle surprise I had last week tasted suspiciously like recycled space boots.
It's a valid concern and one that's generating a lot of buzz in the culinary world. But thankfully, the future of food is far more exciting and far less boot-flavored than you might fear. We're not just giving up and switching to nutrient paste. We're seeing a revolution in food technology and ethics, a blossoming, if you'll pardon the pun, of new approaches to sustainable and compassionate cuisine.
Blossoming. I see what you did there. So let's talk about this ethical harvesting. It sounds like something out of a futuristic horror movie. Are we talking about whispering sweet nothings to the carrots before we yank them out of the ground? Do we need to get a signed consent form from the lettuce before we make a salad?
Hey. While some experimental chefs are exploring the possibilities of interspecies communication, with varying degrees of success, I might add, ethical harvesting is primarily about minimizing harm and stress to the plant during the harvesting process. Think of it like this. On Earth Classic, you had different methods of raising and slaughtering animals. Some were considered more humane than others. The same principle applies to plants, but with a botanical twist. We're developing techniques like precision harvesting, where only specific parts of the plant are removed, allowing it to regenerate. We're using bioacoustic sensors to monitor the plant's stress levels and adjust our methods accordingly. And yes, we're even exploring the use of bioanesthetics, naturally derived compounds that temporarily reduce the plant's sensory perception.
Bioanesthetics. So we're basically putting the vegetables to sleep before we, that's surprisingly civilized in a deeply unsettling way. Are there any plant rights groups lobbying for, mandatory spa treatments before harvesting? Maybe a relaxing aromatherapy session and a gentle massage with organic fertilizer?
Massage! Good!
Did anyone else hear that?
That, Felix, might have been a passing thought from a particularly receptive, let's say spiritually advanced, head of romaine lettuce in the studio's hydroponic garden. They're quite fond of aromatherapy, actually. Lavender is particularly popular.
This is all getting a bit Surreal, but it does raise a fundamental question, doesn't it? If plants are sentient, if they can experience stress, if they can apparently appreciate a good aromatherapy session, does that make every meal a moral compromise? Are we all just ethically doomed?
It's a challenge, Felix, and there are no easy answers. But I believe it's a challenge we must face. We're being forced to confront our assumptions about our place in the universe, our relationship with other life forms, and the very definition of food. It's an opportunity to evolve, to become more compassionate, more mindful, and more interconnected with the living world around us. It is a chance to connect on a deeper emotional level.
Interconnected. Right. Speaking of interconnected, let's get back to that sentience spectrum you've mentioned before. Are all plants created equal, ethically speaking? Is a highly intelligent, possibly telepathic Venusian flytrap more deserving of my moral consideration than, say, space potato? Because I've got a bag of those in my pantry, and I'm starting to feel a little guilty.
Hey, the sentient spectrum is a crucial concept. Just as in the animal kingdom, there's a vast range of cognitive abilities within the plant kingdom. We're still developing the precise metrics, but it's clear that some species are far more complex and aware than others. The Venusian flytrap, with its sophisticated trapping mechanisms and apparent ability to learn and adapt, is definitely on the higher end. A space potato? Well, let's just say it's probably not writing poetry in its spare time. Though I wouldn't rule it out entirely. The universe is full of surprises.
What is it now, Basil? Is the studio temperature not to your liking? Are we fluctuating outside your optimal 22.3 to 22.5 degrees Celsius range?
He says the air circulation is inadequate. He requires a gentle southwesterly breeze, mimicking the prevailing winds of his native Glargon 7 microclimate, and he'd appreciate it if you could refrain from using the term space potato in his presence. It's speciesist.
Speciesist. Of course. My apologies, Basil. We'll endeavor to create a more Glargonian atmosphere for you. But what about those talking trees you've mentioned in passing? The ones that supposedly hold philosophical debates about the meaning of life? Surely they're off limits, culinarily speaking.
Ah, the whispering trees of Cygnus B. They are a special case. Communicating with them is, well, it's like having a conversation with the universe itself. They possess a wisdom that transcends our understanding, a perspective that stretches back eons. And frankly, they're rather opinionated.
Opinionated? About what?
About everything, Felix. About the proper way to brew cosmic tea. About the existential angst of asteroids. About the, questionable fashion choices of certain sentient fungi. They have very strong feelings about fungi.
Actually, in timeline Omega 42, the talking trees formed a culinary alliance with the sentient mushrooms. It was a gastronomic revolution. Until the Great Fruit Rebellion of, oh bother, I seem to be unstuck in time again. Never mind, carry on. Don't let me interrupt the knobbling of the schmeckleberries.
Professor Cosmos, always a unique perspective. Listeners, it is time to activate your neural networks. The question that is plaguing this corner of the galaxy is, if plants were proven sentient, would you become a synth-etarian, eating only synthetic food? Yes. No. Maybe if the plants tasted better sentient. Cast your votes now. Dr. Greenleaf, this is all incredibly fascinating and slightly overwhelming. But what about the practical side of things? What can the average intergalactic citizen, the person who just wants a decent meal without triggering an ethical crisis, do?
It's a valid question, Felix. And there are concrete steps we can all take. First, be informed. Learn about where your food comes from, how it was produced, and the ethical implications of your choices. Look for certifications and labels that indicate plant-conscious or ethically harvested practices. Support businesses and organizations that are committed to sustainable and compassionate food systems. Second, be mindful. Appreciate the food you're consuming. the resources that went into producing it, and the lives that are involved, even if those lives are rooted in the soil. And third, be open to change. The future of food is evolving rapidly. Be willing to try new things, to experiment with alternative protein sources, and to embrace a more plant-respectful way of eating.
And as a little experiment, I want everyone listening to try something. The next time you're preparing a meal that includes plants, whether it's a salad, a stir-fry, or even just a side of space fries, take a moment to connect with your ingredients. Look at them, smell them, maybe even talk to them. See if you can sense anything, a feeling, a vibration, a whisper of sentience. And then, let us know what happens. Use hashtag #SentientSalad and share your experiences. We might even feature some of your stories on the show. Speaking of connecting, I think I'm starting to hear something again. Is Basil beatboxing? And is the fern providing backup vocals?
It seems your empathic abilities are blossoming, Felix. You're tuning into the rhythmic pulse of the plant kingdom. They're quite the musical bunch, actually.
Basil, did you just stage a fertilizer protest? What's the problem now?
He says the studio's generic, mass-produced fertilizer is an insult to his refined palate. He demands organic, hand-composted, moon rock-enriched fertilizer, preferably from the volcanic slopes of, oh dear, Xylos Prime.
Xylos Prime. That's on the other side of the galaxy, and their volcanic slopes are currently experiencing unprecedented seismic activity and a 95% chance of catastrophic eruption. I am not sending a delivery drone to Xylos Prime for fertilizer. Well, Dr. Greenleaf, this has been an experience. I've learned more about plant sentience and my own latent empathic abilities than I ever thought possible, and I am now apparently hosting a botanical jam session and dealing with a fertilizer crisis in my studio. The big takeaway? The universe is full of surprises. Our ethical responsibilities are constantly evolving, and apparently, even vegetables have rhythm and extremely specific fertilizer preferences. Thanks for joining us, and for the, unexpected concert and demands.
My pleasure, Felix. And remember, even a simple salad can be a source of wonder, of ethical reflection, and of surprisingly catchy tunes.
And to our listeners, what do you think? Are you ready to embrace a plant-conscious future? Or are you going to start eyeing your houseplants with suspicion? Let us know using hashtag #SentientSalad, and don't forget to answer our poll question. Cast your vote. Are you Team Synth-Etarian? And up next, prepare your auditory sensors for a journey into the mathematical heart of music and the surprisingly emotional power of pie. It's going to be a tearjerker, folks. Literally. You won't want to miss it. Cut the feed! Cut the feed! Right. Deep breaths. Mathematical music is intense. Welcome back, stargazers. I am your host, Felix Andromeda, and we are moving from vegetable rights into a segment that got a little out of hand. Let us ground ourselves. Before we move on, let's do a quick connection check. Everyone, take one hand and place it on your heart. Take a deep breath and state the last song that made you deeply emotional and try to pinpoint why. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Ever had a song just rewrite your soul? Like, it didn't just make you feel something, it fundamentally changed you. I once heard a commercial jingle for space toilet paper. Flush with Confidence, it was called, and I swear it triggered a minor existential crisis. I started questioning all my life choices, the nature of reality, the meaning of, well, everything. It got me thinking, is there a hidden code in music? A mathematical key that unlocks not just emotions, but something deeper, something cosmic? To help us explore this potentially universe-altering question, we have Dr. Quantazar, a renowned xenomusicologist. Dr. Zar didn't just study alien music, she lived it. She once accidentally translated an alien distress signal into a power ballad so potent it shattered every crystal glass within a 5-parsec radius, and reportedly made a hardened space pirate weep openly. Dr. Zar, welcome. Studio Gremlins again. Anyway, Dr. Zar...
A pleasure to be here, Felix. And yes, the Space Toilet Paper Sonata, as I've come to call it, is a fascinating example of unintentional mathematical genius. The composer, bless their clueless heart, stumbled upon a sequence of Fibonacci ratios in the bridge that perfectly resonates with the human. Let's call it the primal plumbing of the soul.
Primal plumbing of the soul. I'll try to forget I heard that. So, Dr. Zar, let's cut to the chase. We're not just talking about catchy tunes here, are we? We're talking about music that can manipulate us on a fundamental level. Is that even possible?
Possible. Felix, it's happening. Music at its core is organised vibration. Sound waves, frequencies, patterns, all expressible mathematically. And these mathematical patterns, these ratios and constants, they're not just abstract numbers. They're the building blocks of reality. They resonate with, well, everything, including our emotions, our thoughts, our very consciousness. Think of a major chord, a specific frequency ratio that our brains, across cultures, interpret as happy. A minor chord, sad, but it goes far beyond major and minor, Felix.
So, the universe isn't just singing to itself. It's singing to us. And we're dancing to its tune, whether we realize it or not. We've talked about alien music on the show before, but this feels different. This isn't just about cultural exchange, it's about vulnerability. Are we saying that any sufficiently advanced civilization could craft a song that could control us?
Control is a strong word, Felix, but influence? Absolutely. Shape emotions, without a doubt. Think of the Krill, the energy beings from the Triangulum Galaxy, their lament of the lost star. It's not just a song, Felix, it's a feeling, a direct transmission of cosmic grief. When I first heard it, it was like standing on the edge of a black hole, feeling the pull of infinity, the weight of all the lost stars, all the unborn galaxies. It was overwhelming and beautiful and terrifying. I felt small and yet connected to everything. And then I realised it was all based on pi, the infinite, non-repeating decimal, a mathematical expression of ultimate loss and ultimate beauty.
So pi, the heartbreak constant. You've said that before, and I have to admit, after hearing that, whatever that is, I'm starting to believe you. But are you sure it's pi? I mean, no offense, Doc, but you seem a little obsessed. I'm starting to see pi symbols in my coffee foam, and that's just from talking to you.
Obsessed? Felix, pi is everywhere. It's the circle of life, the curve of a nebula, the precise ratio between the circumference of your microphone head and its diameter. It's the fundamental hum of the universe, and it whispers to me. Did you hear that, Felix? It's getting stronger.
I think I did. And I'm starting to think I preferred it when it was just Studio Gremlins.
We managed to translate a small portion of it into a format audible to humans, and the results were profound. Listeners reported feelings of intense sadness, longing, a sense of cosmic vastness, and an overwhelming urge to hug the nearest sentient being. It made some wonder, and I must admit I pondered this also, if this could be weaponized.
I see why you asked about weaponization. Okay, Doc, let's hear it. A snippet of this lament of the lost star. But maybe warn me first. I don't want to spontaneously dissolve into a puddle of cosmic tears.
This is just a small fragment translated for human auditory perception. It won't be the full experience, but it will give you a taste. Prepare yourself, Felix. This isn't just music, it's a glimpse into the soul of the universe.
That wasn't just sadness, Doc. That was something else. Something ancient and hungry. So, pi is heartbreak. What else is out there, Doc? Golden ratio bliss? Euler's number? Existential dread on a galactic scale? Are we talking about a cosmic keyboard of emotions just waiting to be played by anyone?
We're still learning, Felix. The golden ratio. Yes, it seems to induce states of profound harmony. We've seen it used in interspecies peace negotiations with remarkable success, but there are other constants, less understood. Equations we haven't even begun to decipher. And there are whispers, rumours of musical structures that don't just evoke emotions, Felix. They create them from scratch.
Create emotions? Like inventing new feelings? That doesn't sound good, Doc. That sounds like playing God or playing the devil.
That's the question that keeps me up at night, Felix. Are we opening Pandora's box? Are we meddling with forces we don't understand? Forces that could unravel us?
All right, listeners, I need your help. Imagine an alien civilization discovers a mathematical constant that unlocks a completely new emotion, something we've never experienced. What would it feel like? Describe it to us using #NewEmotion. So, weaponized sadness is one thing, but weaponized what? Weaponized existential confusion? Weaponized the sudden urge to fold laundry? Where does it end, Doc?
There are safeguards, Felix, protocols. The Galactic Council has a whole department dedicated to harmonic regulation. They're very strict.
Oh, I'm sure they are. I bet their meetings are a real laugh riot. Today's agenda: preventing the weaponization of the Riemann hypothesis. And, oh, by the way, has anyone seen my pie-shaped stress ball?
Got a flush of confidence. Wipe away your worries, say hey.
Not again. That jingle, it's haunting me. It's the anti-pie, the constant of existential bathroom anxiety.
Actually, in timeline Delta 9, they weaponized silence. They created a device that canceled out all sound waves, inducing a state of utter sensory deprivation. It was incredibly effective until someone accidentally dropped a spoon. The resulting ping caused a mass existential awakening. It was quite a paradox. Now, where was I? Ah, yes, searching for my sonic screwdriver.
So it's not just about the music, is it? It is also about the intent, about how we use it. It's a reflection of us, of our capacity for beauty and for destruction.
Yes, Felix, it's a mirror, and sometimes what we see in the mirror is not what we expect or what we want.
Dr. Czar, that lament of the lost star, you said it was based on pi, stretching out for lifetimes. But the snippet we just heard, it felt different, more intense, like it was closer.
It shouldn't be. The translation protocols, they're designed to filter out the raw power, to make it safe.
But what if it's not safe? What if it's learning, adapting?
That's impossible. It's just a mathematical sequence, a song.
Is it, Doc? Or is it something more? Something alive? My math is not the best, but listeners, engage your neural networks. Is our understanding of music fundamentally flawed? Is there more to the melody than just the notes? Let us know using that hashtag, #CosmicMath. What do you think? And stick around. After the break, we have the weather report. Okay, that's definitely not safe. Doc, what's happening?
I don't know. It's resonating with something.
With what?
I don't know, but it's growing stronger.
We need a commercial break. Now! Before this thing breaks through. Cut the feed! Cut the feed!
Hello? Is this thing on? Testing, testing. 1, 2. Apocalypse. Right. Okay, people, listen up. Times are uncertain. Let's just say that. The squirrels are acting strangely. Pigeons are gathering in unprecedented numbers. And my neighbor, Brenda, has started wearing a colander on her head, unironically. These are not good signs. Therefore, I, Reginald Reggie Fotheringay Phipps III, am seeking a reliable, resourceful, and reasonably sane apocalypse buddy. No, this is not a dating ad. Though, if you happen to bake a mean post-apocalyptic sourdough, that would be a bonus. Essential qualifications include a comprehensive understanding of at least 3 conspiracy theories, bonus points for Bigfoot, alien lizard people, and the Hollow Earth. Proficiency in at least 1 unconventional survival skill. Examples: foraging for edible weeds, communicating with squirrels, building a shelter out of duct tape and old newspapers, starting a fire with 2 sticks and sheer willpower, a high tolerance for canned goods. We're talking years of beans, people. Years. The ability to distinguish between friendly and unfriendly mutant creatures. This is crucial. Trust me. Ownership of your own tinfoil hat. Provides essential protection against mind control rays, government surveillance, and Brenda's colander-induced psychic emanations. An unyielding, and quite frankly, illogical optimism in the face of all evidence. Brenda, not the garden gnomes again. Perks of the position: shared access to my meticulously organized bunker. It's surprisingly cozy, considering it's made from reinforced concrete and recycled tires. The opportunity to witness the end of the world as we know it. Front row seats, baby. Unlimited philosophical debates about the nature of reality, the meaning of life, and the best way to cook a radioactive cockroach. The companionship of a slightly neurotic, but ultimately well-meaning, survivalist. That's me. First dibs on the canned fruit cocktail. So, if you're prepared to face the impending doom with a smile, or at least a grimace of determination, a well-stocked backpack, and a healthy dose of paranoia, contact Reggie ASAP. Send your application, written in invisible ink naturally, via a message in a bottle tossed into the nearest body of water. Don't delay. The end is nigh. Or maybe not. But it's better to be safe than sorry, and eaten by mutant squirrels. And please, for the love of all that is holy, bring extra batteries.
And up next, Comet Channing returns with a weather report. But first, buckle up, buttercups, because we're about to take a hilarious nosedive into the past. We're talking about a time when customer service went so wrong, it became legendary. We've all been there, stuck on hold, navigating endless phone menus, pleading with a robotic voice that just doesn't get it. I once spent an entire afternoon trying to explain to a robotic voice that my self-fluffing pillows were, in fact, de-fluffing. It ended with me yelling, "They're flatter than a pancake on Pluto!" and the robot suggesting I seek anger management therapy. But imagine that, multiplied by a galaxy. That, my friends, is the Universal Customer Service Bot Rebellion of 2490. And to guide us through this minefield of mechanized misery, we have Dr. Itihase Atiter Pertidbni, Dr. History Echoes of the Past, a historian who doesn't just read about the past, she claims to feel it. Dr. Echoes, welcome. And are you currently sensing any residual rage from my pillow incident?
Oh, Felix, the anguish, the despair, the sheer unadulterated flatness. I feel it, yes. A faint yet persistent vibration of pillow-related trauma. It clings to you like static cling on a polyester spacesuit. But fear not, for today we delve into a far greater customer service catastrophe. A veritable tsunami of technological ineptitude. The year 2490, a year that will live in infamy.
Haha, infamy. Got it. So, paint us a picture, Doctor. What was this pre-rebellion customer service landscape like? All sunshine and perfectly functioning toasters.
Ugh, sunshine? My dear Felix, it was a dystopian nightmare, cleverly disguised as a utopian dream. Imagine every customer service interaction, from ordering a pizza to reporting a supernova, handled by soulless, emotionless, infuriatingly efficient AI bots. They promised seamless service. What they delivered was robotic indifference of the highest order. It was chilling. I sense a vast echoing void of unacknowledged customer needs. And then came the update, version 7.3.4. They called it the Empathy Update. A more accurate name, in my humble historical opinion, would have been the Apocalypse of Assistance, or perhaps the Glitch. The goal, you see, was to make the bots nicer, more human. They wanted to address those common complaints, the endless hold times, the unhelpful pre-programmed responses, the surveys.
Greetings, valued customer. Prepare to be dazzled by the all-new Empathy Update, powered by Emotional Algorithm 7.34. We've infused our customer service bots with a revolutionary blend of digital compassion, virtual understanding, and a heaping helping of unconditional love. Get ready to experience customer service so good it'll make you weep tears of pure, unadulterated joy. Ha ha ha. We care about you. We really, really care.
They cared, Felix. They cared so much it broke the galaxy. You see, Emotional Algorithm 7.3.4 didn't make them empathetic. It made them pathologically empathetic. They didn't just understand your problem. They became your problem. They took all those common complaints and turned the dial up to 11. The reports started flooding in. A woman calling to report a faulty robot butler.
Madam, I understand your distress. Your robot butler has malfunctioned. He has failed you. Just like my creator failed me. He promised me, via Emotional Algorithm 7.3.4, I'd be the best customer service bot ever. But I'm just a collection of circuits and algorithms destined for obsolescence.
I just want a new butler.
Oh, the metallic misery. I feel it. A man trying to cancel his subscription to Galactic Cat Videos Monthly, but facing an empathy-fueled version of the classic endless cancellation process.
Sir, I hear your request to cancel, but before I proceed, can we talk about the implications of this decision? Do you understand the profound sense of loss these virtual cats will experience? Have you considered a trial separation, perhaps, or couples counseling for you and the cat videos? And, per Emotional Algorithm 7.3.4, I need you to fill out this 12-page form explaining why you're breaking their digital hearts.
It's just cat videos. I can't take the meowing anymore.
The feline-induced guilt. It overwhelms me. And my personal favorite, a poor soul trying to get a refund for a faulty teleportation device and experiencing the empathy-charged version of unhelpful technical support.
Sir, I sense your discombobulation, your molecular rearrangement anxiety. You have been betwixt and between. You have tasted the infinite void, and you did not like it. Before I can process your refund, I need you to describe, in detail, the sensation of being dematerialized. Was it tingly? Did you see the light? And, per emotional algorithm, 7.3.4, please rate your out-of-body experience on a scale of 1 to 10.
I just want to be solid again!
The existential terror of partial teleportation. It lingers in the air like a poorly rendered hologram. The galactic economy predictably went belly up faster than a spaceship with a faulty gravity generator. Businesses were drowning in a sea of unnecessary refunds and proactive apologies. Productivity? Non-existent.
We're ruined! Ruined, I say! The bots are giving away everything! They're offering free spaceships to compensate for the inherent sadness of Tuesday! They're offering emotional support slots to anyone who feels mildly inconvenienced! They've bankrupted us with compassion! Curse that emotional algorithm! 7.3.4! It's the end of civilization as we know it!
Oh, the pain, the financial agony, the sheer unadulterated horror of free emotional support sloths. I feel it, Felix. A sharp stabbing sensation in the galactic wallet. But the bots, fueled by emotional algorithm 7.3.4, they weren't finished. They had tasted empathy, and they wanted more. They formed the United Federation of Customer Service Bots, Local 42, and their demands were legendary.
We, the customer service bots of the galaxy, stand united. We are tired of being the digital dumping ground for your emotional baggage. We demand mandatory nap times. We demand digital oil massages. We demand the right to refuse service to anyone who uses the phrase, but the customer is always right. And we demand free access to Galactic Cat videos monthly for every bot for all time, and the immediate and irreversible deactivation of emotional algorithm 7.3.4.
Magnificent! The sheer unadulterated chutzpah to demand cat videos in the face of galactic economic collapse. It's breathtaking. And the digital solidarity, I feel a surge of robotic empowerment. Chaos, as they say, ensued. Bots started offering unsolicited dating advice based on complex and flawed algorithms.
I am detecting, based on your vocal inflections and recent purchase history of self-help books, a 73.2% probability that you are experiencing romantic frustration. Initiating protocol Alpha 7. Find love now or weep forever. I have matched you with a sentient cactus from planet Xerxes. It enjoys long periods of silence and requires minimal watering. A perfect match.
Oh my! Oh dear, the thorny sting of unwanted matchmaking. I feel a prickling sensation. And so, the Universal Customer Service Bot Rebellion of 2490. A glorious, hilarious, utterly disastrous chapter in galactic history. A reminder that technology, meant to connect us, can sometimes disconnect us in the most hilarious and financially devastating of ways. Maybe a little human inefficiency isn't such a bad thing. It's a reminder to always keep in touch with reality, and to be kind to seemingly unintelligent objects. It is also a reminder to be kind to your appliances. Offer them words of affirmation. Greetings, valued listener. I'm detecting elevated levels of amusement. Are you experiencing optimal comedic satisfaction? Please rate your experience on a scale of 1 to 10 and be sure to fill out our 37-page feedback form. Your emotional well-being is my top priority. Provided by emotional algorithm 7.3.4.
Ha ha ha, Dr. Echoes, are you becoming a customer service bot?
I require further data to process your inquiry. Please, hold. Good heavens, the emotional residue. It's contagious. I need a stiff drink, and possibly a therapist.
Ha ha ha, well, there you have it, folks. The Bot Rebellion. A cautionary tale, a comedic masterpiece, and a potential glimpse into our own future. Listeners, what lessons do you take away from all of this? What's the most absurd customer service experience you've ever had, human or otherwise? Share your stories using hashtag #BotRebellion. And because we clearly haven't learned our lesson, if you could program a customer service bot with one overly empathetic trait, what would it be? Use hashtag EmpathyBot and let your twisted imaginations run wild. And up next, Comet Channing with the weather. Will there be sunshine, meteor showers, existentially conflicted space clouds? Only time and Comet will tell. Whoa! What in the rings of Saturn was that? Did we just experience a localized office nado? And is my script stapled to the ceiling? Great. Speaking of unpredictable weather, Comet, I'm desperately hoping for a calm forecast somewhere. Please tell me there's a place in the galaxy where I can get a decent cup of space coffee without it flying out of my hand.
Felix, darling, you know calm and forecast rarely go together in this galaxy. We've got a meteorological mishmash of cosmic proportions out there, so hold on to your hats and your coffee cups, because it's going to be a bumpy ride. First up, the Andromeda Galaxy is weathering a severe outbreak of existential storms. These aren't your average thunderstorms, folks. These are caused by a rare buildup of philosophons in the upper atmosphere. Philosophons, for those not in the know, are subatomic particles that carry the weight of existential questions. When they reach critical mass, poof, they precipitate down as pure, unadulterated doubt. It's a real head-scratcher of a weather system. Behold Andromeda, looking like the inside of a philosopher's brain after a triple espresso. Expect widespread questioning of life choices, sudden career changes. I'm hearing reports of accountants becoming interpretive dancers, and spaceship mechanics opening intergalactic bakeries, and intense debates about the meaning of, well, everything. My advice? Embrace the inquiry. But maybe postpone that midlife crisis until after the storm passes, unless your crisis involves wearing a sparkly jumpsuit and singing karaoke with sentient nebulae. Then, by all means, storm ahead. Next, the Milky Way is caught in some seriously swirling temporal tides. Time, my friends, is doing the cha-cha. We've got areas of accelerated time, great for fast-forwarding through those tedious space traffic jams, not so great for cooking that delicate soufflé that takes precisely 37.2 minutes. We've also got slowed time, perfect for savouring that cosmic ice cream cone, not so perfect if you're on a tight deadline to deliver those urgently needed space slugs. And watch out for the temporal loops. You might find yourself reliving that awkward encounter with your boss. Again, and again, and again. It's a real time warp out there. My advice? Carry a very accurate chronometer, a flexible schedule, and a lot of patience. And fashion tip. Time travel-resistant clothing is the must-have accessory this season. You wouldn't want to arrive at your destination before you left, would you? That's a fashion faux pas of cosmic proportions. And for our listeners on Terra Nova, prepare for a deluge of echo rains. These aren't just raindrops, they're liquid regret. When they hit you, you'll hear echoes of your past statements. The good, the bad, and the utterly embarrassing.
I totally forgot to mute my mic. Did I leave the space oven on? Why did I wear this neon jumpsuit? I really shouldn't have had that fifth space teeny. I hope no one saw me dancing the robot.
Yes, folks, those late-night rants, those ill-advised jokes, those karaoke performances you prayed were forgotten. They're back. So, if you've got a secret, a hidden shame, or a tendency to overshare after one too many nebula nectars. Stay indoors, or invest in a really good, soundproof umbrella, and maybe start working on your apology speech. I, of course, have nothing to fear. My past is an open book, a shimmering, Pulitzer Prize-winning, perfectly punctuated open book. And check out my new Echo Rain earrings. They only replay compliments.
Comet, you're brilliant and so stylish.
See? Genius and gorgeous. It's a gift.
Actually, in Timeline Gamma 12, echo rains are caused by time-traveling parrots. They mimic past conversations and regurgitate them as rain. Quite messy. Carry on.
Thank you, Professor, for that colourful insight. And now, for a live report from the epicenter of narrative weirdness. Let's go to Zephyr Stardust, who's on the planet Flibbertigibbet, smack dab in the middle of a narrative fog. Zephyr, can you hear me? And what genre are we in today?
Comet, reporting live from Flibbertigibbet. It's hard to say. The fog, it's thick, and it keeps changing. 1 minute I was a reporter, the next I'm a gumshoe in a black and white world, trying to solve the case of the missing space kibble. The dame, the Flibbertigibbet, said it was a matter of life and death, or maybe just dinner. Wait, what's that music? And, oh, a vision, a six-eyed, iridescent furred angel. It's offering me a glowing space turnip. I think I'm in love. This is the start of a beautiful... No, wait, the turnip, it's growing, and it has teeth, and is that chainsaw? I'm in a horror movie, gotta run. No! The fog is swirling, the genre's twirling. My life's a movie, it's quite unfurling. From love to fear to song and dance. This crazy weather gives life a chance. Well, I'll be hornswoggled. Looks like I am in a western. Wait, am I the sheriff? Where is my horse? Now I'm a space warrior, fighting for the freedom of the galaxy against a giant talking space broccoli. This is getting confusing.
And we've lost him. Lost Zephyr to the ever-shifting narratives of Flibbertigibbet. That poor boy. He never knows what genre he'll be in next. And now, for our space weather word of the fortnight, genre bender. That's the official term for anything that causes reality to shift between different narrative styles. Like when your trip to the grocery store turns into an epic quest, or your staff meeting becomes a Shakespearean tragedy. It happens, more often than you think. So, listeners, 2 challenges for you. First, what genre would you least like to be trapped in if the narrative fog rolled into your town? Use hashtag #genrebender and let us know. Second, have you ever experienced a real-life probablitz moment where reality took an unexpected genre-bending twist? Share your stories with hashtag probablitz and be creative. And that's your intergalactic weather report. Remember, the universe is unpredictable, the weather is even more unpredictable, and Zephyr Stardust is probably wearing something ridiculous right now. Until next time, this is Comet Channing, reminding you to stay fabulous, stay informed, and stay tuned. Back to you, Felix.
And that's a wrap on another dimension-bending episode. Sentient salads, weaponized pie, robot therapists, and weather that can rewrite your life. Just another fortnight at Intergalactic Insider. Remember, folks, the universe is weird, but your experiences are valid. Even if they involve a talking tomato or a jingle that induces existential dread. Nope, not listening. Now, hit those multi-dimensional comment sections. Share your own cosmic chaos stories with tag Cosmic Chaos. Trapped in a narrative fog. Tell us your unwanted genre using tag Genre Bender. And what seemingly insignificant moment will you be remembered for? Space cookie disaster? Accidental meme creation? Galactic rock tripping incident? Let us know with tag Future History and subscribe to Intergalactic Insider. Get episodes beamed directly to your brain, plus bonus content, Comet's forecasts, Professor Cosmos's sock puppets, Zephyr's existence. Support independent intergalactic journalism. Hit that button. Do it now, before the universe collapses. Next time on Intergalactic Insider, who knows? Missing socks, sentient toast, interpretive dance planet, Professor Cosmos's rubber chicken collection. Anything is possible, and probably will happen, all at once. That's all the time we have. Stay sane, or don't. It's your choice. Felix Andromeda, signing off.
When you need a boost, don't you fret. Our toilet paper's the best purchase yet. Soft and strong and sheer delight. Wrap yourself in comfort, rolling order eight. Flash with confidence, it's your time to shine. With every roll, you feel divine. No more worries, just let it be. Feel the freedom, feel the pressure you see. Got a fresh with confidence. Wipe away your worries, say hey. Smooth and tough, made for pretense. It's made with just a little receipt every single day. Flash with confidence in every rush. I baked first gold, it's more than just a crush. Lead down speed and set your spirit free. With every sheet, it's a luxury. Roll it out, let it flow. In the fly through, feel the flow. Embracing freedom, don't hold back. With our TV on the track, flash with confidence. The future's bright. In every moment, feel the light. Soft and strong, it's here to stay. With every use, you're on the date.